Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to take the next 50 minutes to show you OpenClinica Participate. OpenClinica CEO Cal Collins will provide an overview of the application and demonstrate Participate's key features from both the patient and the researcher perspectives. And we'll reserve about 10 minutes at the end of the webinar to address these questions. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Cal Collins.
All right, thank you, Rob, and thanks everyone for joining us today. I'm looking forward to this opportunity to show you OpenClinica Participate. Let's start with why this is important. Clinical study participants are hard to find. They must navigate a complex maze to discover and be considered eligible for a trial. And in a traditional study, we only get glimpses during pre-scheduled clinical visits of the challenges that patients with disease have to face on a 24/7 basis. The difficulty of meaningful, timely engagement with these volunteers strikes us as an obstacle to successful research. The opportunity to better understand how their disease and our interventions impact their lives as they live them is immense. We live in a world today where 90% of American adults have mobile phones, 79% text, 63% use their phone to go online. Numbers are similar in many other parts of the world, and even older age groups are adopting smartphones at a rapid pace. In this anytime, anywhere connected world, mobile technology can be a pretty effective means to engage participants in research in a meaningful way. More and more studies are looking for solutions that combine direct data capture from participants, known as electronic patient-reported outcomes, or ePRO, with powerful messaging and communications capability. OpenClinica Participate is the first solution that does so in a lightweight, mobile, multi-platform manner that can be used from the patient's own device with zero training, zero software install, and minimal hassle. Its intimate integration with the OpenClinica Enterprise EDC platform means having separate databases for patient-reported and clinical data, with the associated duplication of tools and increased risk of error become a thing of the past. Why is this important? Well, treating research volunteers as participants as opposed to subjects can lead to concrete benefits. You get more complete, timely data. You can improve participation, motivation, and adherence. You can increase your ability to meet study goals, budget, and completion timelines. Using ePRO over traditional paper diaries leads to reduced data entry, lower data cleaning costs, and better timeliness of data. Using an integrated ePRO and EDC solution provides you with a single integrated view of data in real time that can accelerate decision-making and eliminate sources of error. Better engagement via mobile technology can even enable new protocol designs that better target study populations and more closely align with real-world conditions. Plus, helping our trial participants feel more informed and connected to their study just seems like the right thing to do. Over the past 3 years, our team has worked directly with a number of our customers, CROs, hospitals, primary care clinics, and sponsors to understand how to deliver value in an ePRO and patient engagement solution. Most importantly, working with these valued partners has given us a chance to learn directly from patients as we observe them using beta versions of the OpenClinica Participate technology in a variety of contexts. And as you'll see in a moment, the result is a user experience that is simple and easy to use on any device, even while it supports sophisticated and powerful features. So far, I've referred to the proliferation of mobile technology and Participate's ability to be used in a bring-your-own-device or BYOD model, but Participate can be deployed in other contexts as well. It's built with a simple interface that can be used without training. There's no app or software to install or download, whether it's on a mobile device or desktop, and it's built with responsive design technologies so that the technology automatically knows what size and shape of device it's being displayed on and adjusts the layout accordingly for the amount of screen real estate that's available. So Participate can be deployed in contexts such as a shared tablet device for in-clinic assessments. if you want to have a patient complete a questionnaire or assessment at the beginning or end of their office visit. It can be used in a setting where the sponsor provision devices are distributed to the patients to use during the trial. And it works equally well, as you'll see in the demo, on a traditional PC web browser as it does on a smartphone or tablet. So in just a moment, I'm going to show you a live demonstration of Participate. We're going to start from the study participant's perspective. I'm going to share the screen of my mobile phone. And in just a moment, I'll be connected to the study via text message with a link and an access code. I've just received a text thanking me for participating in our example study today, providing a link and an access code to get into OpenClinica Participate. When I do, that will bring me to my dashboard. The dashboard's designed to provide me with key information I need to complete a task accurately and efficiently. It can be used to provide encouraging, motivating messages to the participant. Each questionnaire, in this case there's only one, has associated instructions, such as in this case, describes what the form is for, how long it should take to complete, or other instructions that you deem appropriate when you set up your study. And the design of the page is intended to direct me quickly to the Let's Go button so I can complete the required task or questionnaire. Now this is a short form about certain areas of behavioral health. It should take just a few minutes to complete. So I'm going to provide my age, gender, be a 60-year-old male. I'm feeling pretty good today, so I'm going to say my health is excellent. I don't smoke, drink, and I've been feeling pretty good about myself. So I'm going to answer no to all those questions. When I submit the form, the data go into the OpenClinica database in real time, and the system will then check if there are other tasks or forms for me to complete. In this case, there aren't, so it's going to thank me for my participation and send me on my way till the next time I have to come back. Now I'll complete the same form as another participant, this time being notified via email instead of text and using a regular web browser. So in just a moment, I should receive an email. It will be coming in just a moment. There it is. So I've been connected again now as a different participant in the study, but with the same task to complete the health screening questionnaire, just so that I can show you how it's done through email. And in this case, I can click it and complete it in my web browser. So you can see the difference between a web browser and a mobile phone. So here's the dashboard in a web browser view. As you can see, I have a lot of screen real estate here, so the system stretches the buttons out and looks a little different than on a mobile device. As I mentioned, it's a responsive design technology, so as I narrow it down, it then automatically adjusts to look more and more like it would on a mobile device. But the same basic screen, same health questionnaire, and when I click on that, in this case, I'm going to complete the form, but give you an idea of some of the features we have that you can build into the form. So as you may recall, when I completed the form on my mobile, I was feeling pretty good, kind of gave all the healthy answers to the questions. In this case, not feeling so good, and you'll notice the form's going to add another section based on some of my responses to the initial battery of questions. I might go back and realize, oh, actually, I do drink alcohol. I've answered that one wrong. And if I go back and change that, then we'll see I'm prompted with a set of questions about drinking habits. And then that will, after that, bring me to the mood section. in which case I can complete a set of questions on how I'm feeling. And that's it. So based on those responses at the beginning of the form, some branching logic was triggered, which then enabled the study to ask me some more detailed questions about potential risk areas that I may have in this case. I'm going to provide you with a quick overview of some of the more advanced features of OpenClinica Participate. And then I'll jump back into the live demo so you can see them in action. As you saw, we've provided multiple ways to reach participants. You've reached them with text messages, with email, and in those emails and text messages we can provide a link to access the system that has a one-click link with an activation code built in, or you can provide emails that separate out the activation code so that it's something the participant can carry around with them and type in as they access the system on different devices. Associated with that, when you set up a study with Participate, you have the opportunity to designate the domain or URL for your study and create something that's memorable for users so that it's easy for them to visit it and do what they need to do, even if they don't happen to have the link with them. One of the things we're really excited about is the level of integration with the OpenClinica data capture and data management system that many of you on the call I think are familiar with. Within OpenClinica Enterprise, you can activate Participate for any study. We use the same set of tools to build the forms, set up your visit and event definition structures that you do in OpenClinica, so that integrated study build reduces duplication, enables your team to be familiar with a single set of tools and a single approach to building studies. And then as the data come in, the data goes in real time to the OpenClinica database, and as it does, it is treated in the same way as clinical data, has access to all the same functionality, including the ability to extract it, to view it. We'll see examples of that in a minute. And there's a single integrated audit log. One of the things we're really excited about is the ability to couple this interface to reach participants on multiple devices with powerful event scheduling and messaging capabilities. The system can automatically schedule events, CRFs, participant forms, and do so based on rules you've set up for your study. OpenClinica has actually had these features for a while now, but they're especially powerful for scheduling ePRO activities. So in this case, we've depicted a relatively simple example. We want to set up treatment visit 2 to occur 5 days after treatment visit 1. So we can create a schedule in OpenClinica to trigger the scheduling of treatment visit 2 after treatment visit 1 is completed, or we can do it after treatment visit 1 data entry has started, or depending on what conditions we want to select. And then after that second treatment visit has been completed, perhaps that's when we want to ask the health risk questionnaire. So completion of the second visit activates the risk questionnaire, and as I'll show you in a second, we've also associated the risk questionnaire in this case with calculation of risk scores based on the answers to that questionnaire. And these scheduling rules can be combined in a seamless way with messaging to your participants. Personalized reminders and notifications can be sent when it's most important and most relevant for the participant. In this modified version of the case I just showed you, we finish our treatment and we trigger a message to start a daily diary. So on day 1, we'll get a notification such as the one depicted at the bottom of the slide, and you can customize the text of this message, the layout, you want it to look and what you want it to say. But it gives me access as a participant to complete my daily diary, and then I can trigger follow-up messages around that. You know, either send a message the next day for the next daily diary, or if I missed one, perhaps send a reminder message later in the day. We can do that also at specific times of day, and this is a new feature in OpenClinica, along with the messaging, that you can schedule these messages and all rules actually to trigger at specific times of day, and where it's available, those the selected time will be based on the participant's time zone. So if you want to send out a message at 8 a.m. To all your participants and you're in a global study, the message to those participants in Europe is going to go out at 8 a.m. local time, and participants in Japan will be notified at 8 a.m. their local time. First thing I'll start with is connecting a participant. So let's see. For those of you not familiar with OpenClinica, this is a central screen in the OpenClinica EDC system. We call it the subject matrix. And here you can see some participants who we've set up for this this study in this site, the same one we were just using. These two participants, 10 and 11, are the ones for whom I just completed the health questionnaire, and I'll show you that data in a moment. But before I do, I'm going to show you how I would connect another participant. So I'll use participant 12 here. After they've been added to the OpenClinica system, I can hit connect, and this is something that's typically done by a CRC or other site user. I'm prompted to log in. I use the same username and password as gets me into OpenClinica. We don't have the full single sign-on with that completed just yet, but we will soon. But the same credentials, and after I'm in here, then I'm asked to enter the profile information for participant number 12. So I can name that, and then I can provide the participants either phone or email, or both, and that will determine how the participant is contacted. And we also have an option to specify whether I do want to notify the participant right now. The default is yes, but if I want to populate this this roster in advance and then have the scheduling rules trigger the appropriate notifications, I can do that, in which case I'd pick no. But right now I'll pick yes for this. And I can continue with doing additional participants. I can enter the study subject ID from here, or go back to OpenClinica and click the connect icon for another participant. If I find I have to update the participant's information, so participant 12 here, it will preload the information, and this feature is only available to site users, so that study level users can't access the identifiable information that's stored in these screens, and it's not visible through the OpenClinica interface anywhere. So I've shown you how we connect a participant, and I'd also like to show you how OpenClinica captures and displays the data that is submitted through Participate. So we're going to take a look at subject number 10, which was one of the first, probably should be the one I submitted through my mobile phone. And as we can see here, there's only one form that's been submitted for this participant record. It's the health questionnaire. And as a clinical user here, I can look at this data in the OpenClinica form engine, which which looks different than what the participant sees, but it's the exact same content built off the exact same form definition, and have access to the functions that that I would typically have in a EDC or clinical data management setting. I can even add notes or discrepancies to fields on the form. Now these wouldn't go back to the participant. That's not really an ePRO workflow, but they can be used internally for various purposes, such as if I do need to change some data. So actually, let me show you how I would do that. If I change, for example, the age based on the workflow that's been set up for this study, the system is going to ensure that I enter a reason for change here. And after that, I'm able to save the data and continue. If I exit out there, I may want to see, what the patient originally submitted. Of course, it's very important to track and audit that data. And we've been able to develop an integrated audit trail. In this case, there's a simple form. This is the view of the printable view of the subject's casebook. We can see here the value for age is 66. As we scroll down, we can then see here in the audit trail that we've recorded a reason for change discrepancy note. There's what I entered, and then the audit history for this particular item. I know there's a lot going on this page, but what you can see over here is that the original value was 60. That was entered by the study subject, who we record here, and then the CRC user has updated the value to 66. So we connected a participant. We looked at the data in OpenClinica. We looked at the integrated audit log, the access you have to review and manage and track that data with the traditional functions of OpenClinica's clinical data management capabilities. And though I'm not going to go into it during this demo, you can extract that data in the same way you would extract other data in OpenClinica, either alongside it or set up separate data sets. What I am going to do is go into how we build a study, and that'll be an opportunity to show you some of the more advanced features and some of the capabilities we have to allow you, to give you the power to use this tool to create a elegant, simple user experience for your participants, and yet access some very powerful features. So I switched over to a different browser here, and in this case I'm logged in as a data manager at the study level. And so in this case I will have access to the study build and configuration tools, and I'll have the chance to show you some of those. What I'm going to do is walk you through a couple key aspects of the configuration of this study, and then I'll go back to data entry, show you an example of a daily diary, and show you how some of the configuration for that actually behaves. If I go to my build study screen in OpenClinica, those of you who are current OpenClinica users will be familiar with this. You can see we have our list of forms here, and we see clinical case report forms alongside the patient-facing questionnaires, and they can be managed in exactly the same way. We use the same tools to build the forms. You can version them, track them, archive versions over time as they get out of date. And the way you deploy them into your study is, again, the same way that you do with other types of forms in OpenClinica. So, for example, here the initial assessment includes 2 forms. the patient-facing health questionnaire. And how do I know it's patient-facing? Well, all I need to do is check this checkbox. And then actually here we have a risk scoring form that's for, it's not patient-facing. And I'll show you we have a risk scoring algorithm that we've built for this study to calculate risk based off the answers to the questionnaire. So actually, if I go into that, we can set those risk scoring rules up to run automatically on a schedule at a given time of day, since waiting for that during a live demo doesn't typically demo very well. I'm going to execute those rules manually, and then as I flip over back to my subject number 10 and refresh the record, with any luck, I should see the risks have now been calculated. And I believe this was the one where I had a fairly good bill of health, so there's no risks identified there. And hopefully, if I did this right, I can go into the record for participant 11 and see that my less than healthy behaviors and feelings about myself have identified me as being at risk for alcohol abuse and potentially suffering from depression. So we've set up, in addition to the health screening questionnaire I just showed you, a daily diary structure for this study. And if I click on this particular rule, what I'm going to see is a message that we've crafted to notify the study participant when it's time for them to complete their daily diary. In the OpenClinica Rule Designer here, you can see that we've set a daily diary notification action in the middle of the page. You can see to go out. This rule runs on a schedule, so the message will go out at this time, and again, that is in the participant's local time zone, so they should receive the message every day at that time. And the message content is here. Who's it going to go to? Well, it's going to go to the participant. If we wanted to add another email address, somebody on the study team that might want to receive copies of this message, we could do so. We can customize the subject, for example, I can use different variables such as the name of the study, and same with the message body. Here we can use the participant's name. We can use provide a login URL so that it's very easy for them to click and access this, and we can put whatever content we want to in here. I could save my changes to that rule. Exit, come back here. Find it again, and we can see, the updated content here that I just modified. Now, if I go back to OpenClinica and schedule this, and for demonstration purposes, we've set this up to trigger for manual scheduling, and it'll trigger the message to the participant rather than do it in addition to also doing it at a certain time of day. So I've now created this daily diary, and the system will hopefully be sending me a message I just received a text message. Says, "Dear Fred, please complete your daily diary. You can access your daily diary via the following link." And then we have the URL to participate and the thank you message that I just customized in the Rule Designer. Okay, so here I am. I'm at my daily diary. And as we can see here in this particular assessment, there are 3 forms as opposed to the one last time. It's asking me, you can see it's asking me to complete these forms today, July 21st. The orange notification box can provide me with helpful information on what I need to do. If I don't need that, I can exit out. I always have the name of the study at the top of the screen, as well as my account information in the upper right. And let me start with the sleep diary. Okay, so today is Tuesday. It's a work day. Last night I went to bed at, oh, that's not what I meant to hit. And I had a good night's sleep last night. Okay, so now I'm a third of the way through my diary today. You can see that's tracked on the progress bar. I can continue with the mood questionnaire. This is an example of a 1 question per screen type of layout, which is often used in ePRO assessments. I can hit next or swipe to go back and forth in the questionnaire. I guess you can't really see my finger on the screen, but I'll just tell you what I'm doing. And each of these questions has a similar format and identical response choices. So there we go, 1 form left now. It's my medication log. System wants to know if I took the study pill. These are, in this case, these fields are all required. If I say no, it's going to ask me to tell it why. So maybe I did in the morning, but then I just forgot in the afternoon. And did I take any other medications, vitamins, or supplements? Yes, I took some aspirin. How much? 200 milligrams. Took it at 8 in the morning. Is that it? Probably not. Maybe I took another supplement. I took some vitamin C. Took that at 8 as well. And I can submit the form. So I've completed my daily diary. Now, what I'll show you here is now we have the daily diary for July 21st has been completed. We have all these forms complete. I can go into them and see the data in the clinical view. Again, different view of the form, but same data. And the system has also triggered the next daily diary. Now, normally we would have this done via schedule so that I'm not going to complete tomorrow's diary today. So normally it would be set up to trigger the creation and availability of that event at midnight or 9 a.m. or whatever you want. Again, for purposes of demonstration today, we've set it up to do it right away as soon as the data for the first diary is completed, and you can continue to do that for however long you want the diary to continue for. And that can be done, in this case, we've set up our study. I'm going to flip back to my data manager view here. In this case, we have set up our study with a single daily diary event that is repeating. So basically, it's the same, the same event, the same set of questionnaires that repeats over and over again. But you can construct your schedule so that different types of forms are used on different days or at different points in the study, and still have that be automated according to the rules of the study. So I'm gonna stop there. Of course, there's a tremendous amount of functionality and variability in how you can configure your study and your forms in OpenClinica and OpenClinica Participate. We don't have time to cover everything today, so hopefully I've been able to highlight a few things that are of interest and useful to you as the audience today.
Thanks, Cal. Yeah, we have several questions. The first question is can a participant access, view previously entered data?
Currently, no. That's something that we're working on, and we hope to have that feature available in OpenClinica Participate in the near future. And it's something that will come along with configuration options, so that as you decide how you want to set up your study, you'll be able to determine whether the participant has access to previously entered data. Another related thing we're working on is the ability to configure a given study for anonymous submission. So in a case where you're doing more of a survey type of activity, or even trying to capture potential subjects via the web for screening and potential enrollment into the study, you can set up a URL that anyone can go to and submit a form, and it will create an associated subject record in OpenClinica with the data from their form, so that doesn't require any pre-setup of who they are, and that's another feature we're working on right now.
Another question is, how is the link arranged between person identifying data, email, phone number, and the clinical data?
Yes, so we've been able to use first of all, the OpenClinica Participate is architected as a separate application from OpenClinica. So you have a separate environment in which the application runs. However, all the data are passed through to OpenClinica itself, so all your data is stored in one place, and the identifying information goes into the OpenClinica database in actually as a hidden type of user account. So it's not in your clinical data tables. It's stored in a separate set of tables where it would store user information, but it's not viewable within the typical user management places in the OpenClinica application. And we are currently working on features to encrypt those fields in the OpenClinica database, and expect to release those in September, and thus meaning that anyone with a physical copy of your OpenClinica database wouldn't be able to view any personally identifiable information, because the keys would be stored, or will be stored, on the OpenClinica Participate app.
Another question is, when will this feature be released?
It's available now. I mentioned a couple things we're still working on. We have an exciting list of features that that we'll be adding to Participate into OpenClinica itself, but it is available now. Everything I showed you today is fully tested and validated and released and available for production. I mentioned we've run several studies over the past few years with some of our early customers using beta versions of this technology or custom versions of this technology, and are currently preparing to go live with 4 studies right now using OpenClinica Participate this summer.
Okay, another question. Is it possible to integrate audio and video files to provide different informations?
Great question. Another feature we're working on. One of our current customers that started off using a kind of pre-release customized version of the technology is already using that, and we're hoping that will be available for production use by all our customers before the end of the year. The form technology we're using for Participate, not only is it really excellent technology for data capture on different devices and with a responsive design, but it's also really great at multimedia, so you can embed images, audio, and video into your forms, so the user can review, look at content, use images or icons as the choices to different response options, and even also upload their own media, whether it's pictures or recordings they take with their device. And so we're really excited about that. It will take a few more months before it's ready for the full production release where customers where users can build the studies themselves. But if you want it sooner, we can do it on a semi-custom basis. So feel free to contact us.
Is it possible to do double data entry using the Participate?
Not in the traditional sense. If you want to set up a hybrid study where some participants are using paper diaries, or maybe you have those as a fallback, whatever the participant enters through the Participate interface I showed you will go into OpenClinica as a participant entered form. And if you wanted to have a traditional double data entry workflow for those diaries that are captured on paper, you could certainly do that. But that would be using the traditional OpenClinica forms interface.
Okay, can I add or remove fields according to country needs? In other words, adapt to each country with different language requirements, and then collate the databases at the regional level?
You should be able to. It would depend on your exact requirements, but you can create multiple versions of the form, and then based on sites, determine which versions of the form are deployed to which sites. So in that sense, you're able to control the content geographically or regionally. In the future, we'll also, separate from versioning of forms, have the capability to create different translations of forms that are automatically detected by the user's browser and locale settings, so you wouldn't even have to kind of customize the which version is used at which site. So it is possible now, will become even easier in the future.
How does Participate lower costs?
Well, in a number of ways. It certainly depends on how you deploy it, but certainly the costs of data entry from paper are high, whether you're doing double data entry from paper diaries, or another way, there's a cost to the patient. They have to deal with the hassle of paper. There's a cost to data quality in that we don't really know that they completed given assessment at the time that they were supposed to have done, whereas when you're doing it electronically, you have an audit trail of exactly when that happened. And then, of course, the actual cost of keying in the data from paper, which is a significant personnel cost in a lot of types of these studies, and and also introduces potential sources of error.
Is Participate available for community users?
Great question. Right now, Participate is available for OpenClinica enterprise users. What we've done with Participate is we've implemented as you saw, a form engine, and kind of behind that, a new architecture and set of APIs that are going to drive a lot of the future evolution of OpenClinica itself. So the form engine we use is open source. The API that connects it to the OpenClinica application is a public standard. These tools and standards have been around a long time, and we're really trying to encourage developers in our community to use these tools in different ways and deploy them. So over time, you'll see more and more of that available in OpenClinica Community Edition and in our code base on GitHub, and a lot of it already is. As a packaged application, it's available as a hosted service right now, just for OpenClinica Enterprise users, and we do expect down the road to enable connecting that to Community Edition as well, although we're not quite at that point where we're able to do that yet. I've blogged in a little bit more detail about the kind of technology roadmap from an open source and development perspective on the OpenClinica blog. So if you're interested in more information, please take a look there, and of course feel free to post on the forums or contact me directly.
Is it possible to integrate physiological sensor data from mobile phones?
That's a great question. As I mentioned, the technology we're using enables integration of various media, so you can snap a picture with your phone and attach that to a form. You can take an audio recording. It even has very sophisticated geolocation capabilities. So there's a lot of things built in, not all of which we've enabled yet, but are working towards. And one of those is also to interface with sensor data. Again, using the mobile devices as the kind of hub of a lot of that information. We're earlier along on that path, but it's most definitely on our trajectory, and we'd be very interested in working with you in that. So if you have a project in mind, I'd certainly love to talk more about it.
And is it possible to use Participate as a standalone system only for questioning?
It relies on OpenClinica as the backend. That being said, we do have right now, I think just one, but soon potentially a few more customers that are using it really without using the data management backend. So you can use the OpenClinica study build tools, deploy your forms, and we even have capabilities that probably in a few months we'll be showing you at a different webinar, where you can build custom dashboards, and we're preparing to deploy those for that customer now. So they're, right now it's packaged to be used in conjunction with the OpenClinica EDC system, but it can be used in a standalone manner.
Thank you, everyone, for all your great questions. At any point, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact us at either sales@openclinica.com, email, or the phone number, or you can just visit our website. We have a contact form.